But
it's 5K day.
Yay, 5K.
Michael's so excited he wore himself out and fell asleep. It is 7:18. All right, we are
only 18 minutes behind.
Which Jeremy planned that anyway, because he knew we wouldn't leave till this time. All right, so we are on our way to Fayetteville. Is it Fayetteville?
It's actually Minden, but yeah.
Minden. All
Close
right.
enough. Oak Hill, Fayetteville.
The race starts at 9. All right, y'all. So this was filmed on Saturday, October 5th. We did the 5K down in Minden, West Virginia. It's near the gorge. You would have to look at the whole area from an aerial view or from a map. It's all linked together, but like you'll have one town that's literally a mile away from another, but it's a mountain mile and you like literally have to go up and down. So in order to get to it by road, it'll take you like 45 minutes to an hour and a half to get to these other places. But it was definitely the toughest run that we've all done. And we did a 10K last June, I think. I'm not quite sure. And it was not near as tough as this one. There were a lot of odds against us. Is that what or the odds were not in our favor? I don't know. It still ended up being an absolutely wonderful day. I am taking you guys, what's on the film right now is the coal mining town called Minden. There's still people that live there. You'll notice a lot of the houses are the same. They're called Jenny Lynn houses. And that was just the type of coal camp style. But anyway, I said coal camp. I'm sorry. There's a difference between a coal town and a coal camp. The coal camp, usually you would have like a whole community in one place. We don't have those anymore here in West Virginia. The places that you see, they're just remnants left. But you would have whole communities built around one coal mine. You would have everything ran from the company store. You would buy all your groceries there. They even had their own money. They unfortunately have their own police and everything else too. Ton of history there. It's absolutely fascinating. I'd be more than happy to dedicate several videos to that if that's something you guys are ever interested in. And that's what Jeremy and I really love to do, and all of our kids do. Well, as much as kids do enjoy that stuff. There are a ton of trails, running trails, hiking trails, whatever, even horseback riding, that type of stuff, biking. And they all are around the gorge, and they usually have something to do with an old coal mining town or a coal camp or something coal related. So it's still very important to West Virginia, not just the actual process of coal mining now, but the history too as well. I personally, not trying to get too much into politics or anything like that, economics or whatever you want to call it, I think it would be fantastic for West Virginia to really, really focus on travel and tourism, bringing people here this way. So, even if you're not, these are the Jenny Lynn houses I was talking about, even if you're not interested in coal mining, there's still a lot of stuff that we have thanks to these places. Like the place that we went to run is actually a huge outdoor park. They do things like zip lining, rock climbing. They've got a huge water park thing. It's a ton of stuff. We'll show you guys some of the things there. A lot of music and stuff like that. It's awesome. Most of these little coal camp houses that you see, a lot of times, the people that still live here are family members from people that started here. Coal mining didn't actually end. I'm not going to say end. Mechanization of coal till the 50s. And that's when you see most of these little camps like this, they kind of dissolve. I want to say it was like 75% of the coal miners. I can't quite remember the number. But at one point in West Virginia's history, like 92% of all residents lived in a coal camp. So while we don't have a high population here, that's still a large amount of the state. So at one point, that's all this state was. But you put these little towns in the middle of nowhere. When the coal leaves, there's nothing left for people to make a living. So you end up with ruins. I'm not talking crap. I'm using the word literally. Like there's a ton of old little town ruins all throughout West Virginia. You can be hiking on a trail, which I have done this before. You're hiking in a trail and you literally walk upon a cemetery in an old town. You'll see all the the foundations and stuff like that just laying around. It's really, really neat. And it can be really spooky too if you don't know what you're doing. But anyway, onto the trail, or onto the race itself. It was me and Jeremy and our 15-year-old son, Michael. He likes to do these with us too. My time was horrible. It was over an hour. I think Jeremy and Michael, I'm not quite sure. Michael beat us and then Jeremy came, but it rained. So it was outside and it was super muddy. Then it was really crowded at the start, and you guys will see, we'll show you some footage of the 5K. There's not a ton, but mostly this video is kind of dedicated to just the scenery. But yeah, there was mud, so it was muddy, and I'm not about these people that do the mud runs and stuff like that. That's fantastic. I don't understand it though. Like my foot gets stuck, my jacket gets caught on something, anything like that. No. Like I'm irritated and I'm finished. Same with like slipping on rocks or leaves. Yeah, not my cup of tea. So as you guys can see, we're following people up to this little town, or up to this little adventure park. I think it's what it's called. Is it called Ace? I don't know. They got some, anyway.
You look like an egg.
Except for the people right there.
On that jumpy thing?
Yeah, the bob's usually over there.
Oh, yeah.
They have grass curves here there. And they're what? There's like at least 30 or 40 like 200-pound grasshoppers.
Really?
They sit over there usually because people put food and water. Because that's like a buffet.
That's where the burrito bar is afterwards.
Yeah, you see that bass right there?
Oh, dang, dude, he's a big one.
Yeah, but usually all those parks are over here. See, there's multiple. And there's a great
I did, absolutely. The little things in life that make her happy.
So there were like 3 different races going on in here. There was a 5K, a half marathon, and a marathon. So that first part you saw, that's where we kind of slowed down though. All this footage is thanks to Jeremy. I was not about to try and film and run at the same time. Those 2 did really well. I think you can hear his breathing in this footage, but yeah, it was super steep the first part and muddy and crowded. So I lost a good 15 minutes that way. But to be honest, once I realized there was mud, I was about done. But this part right here that Jeremy's walking up, the camera does not really show how steep it was.
This one sucks.
Now we've been to Thurman a bazillion times. That's actually where we got married. We have never done this trail before though. We didn't even really know it was here. So it was really neat to see it from this other side. And if you guys have ever heard of the New River Gorge Park or anything like that, or if you've ever been there, the view, it's crazy, looks almost exactly the same from the top of the New River Gorge that it does over here, or the park. Sorry, the park, not the gorge, it's the overlook. But it was absolutely gorgeous. This part right here that Jeremy's showing you, I thought I was going to be sick from the top. I had to stop and sit down. It was so steep. And we run regularly, so yeah, it was just kicked my butt. So I grew up in the city. I grew up actually in Atlanta. I feel comfortable sharing that. So anyway, but that's a small bit of information about me. I walked a lot of places. I didn't drive until I was 18, actually 19 maybe. So walking has been something I've always enjoyed, and I've never been opposed to hiking, but I didn't really have much of an opportunity to do this until actually I moved to West Virginia, and I lived here for probably 10 years until I actually met Jeremy, and he got me into hiking. He introduced me to Cole. I knew I wanted to do something outdoors when I started college. Actually started college before I met Jeremy, and then halfway through we met, and he introduced me to coal mining and hiking, and it was like love at first sight, both of them. You guys must know Jeremy and the hiking, well, and the coal, so love it. That was 3 things, but anyway, so it's just always been a big part. We've had Joe, we've had all the kids out in the woods for the past 10 years regularly. Joe, we had him in there, I think he was 2 months old. We had him in a little knapsack and just, went everywhere with him. So I'm really glad it's something we've still continued. We've really had a blast making these Saturday videos for you all. So we're going to actually start looking into some better equipment. I know a lot of people, the shaky camera doesn't bother them. Personally, it bothers me only just because it makes me a little like motion sick or whatever you call it. But you guys, thank you all for like just the love and support. It's been awesome. Like, we are having a ball doing these.
The little town of Thurmond. Ghost town. There's something wrong here. This is taking way too long. Big dogs. Oh, goodness gracious.
Smile and I'll put you back. You.
That sucked. Oh, thanks. I liked
You
it.
get Michael in there.
I
Cut
did.
him out. Cut his head out.
There, he's in there now. Hey. 5K. That was hard. You like my hair and my red face?
I did.
I look like I'm having a stroke.